Let me introduce my fellow colleagues who will help me in the control and conduct of this meeting. To maintain order in the meeting, we have someone who is a class 12 student. He is passionate about entrepreneurship and economics. He loves playing tennis and is a hardcore cinema lover. His view around what makes him feel special about the beach is the one thing that makes him feel better about beach is the freezing air, the calmness that we get from observing water. Let's welcome our Sergeant at Arms Toastmaster Yash Zakete. Keep a track of time, we have someone who is a motivational speaker. Her hobbies are reading and listening to music. She is at strategic relationships level 2. Her view around what makes her feel special about the beaches. She likes the vastness of the ocean. Let's welcome our timer Toastmaster Tamina Ahuja. To keep the track of pauses or fillers that we use, we have someone who is a graduate in microbiology. He loves to play football and cricket. He loves to watch Test cricket, women's cricket, AW, and Premier League matches. His interests are cricket, football, wrestling, and drawing. When asked about his opinion about what makes him feel special about the beach, he mentioned the pleasant nature and feeling of peace makes him feel special. Let's welcome our counter Toastmaster Tej Sharma. To give us the critical feedback of the language that we use and highlight upon the good and not so good usage of English, we have someone who is a student in ENTP engineering. He's a techie, a chef, and loves to play cricket. He is also a drinker. When asked about what makes him feel special about the beach, he mentioned hot sun, cool water, having a popsicle, sitting on the chair, and enjoying the vibes around. Let's welcome our language evaluator Toastmaster, Harsh Rage.
Before Harsh begins, I would like to ask how many of you would like to eat something after the meeting? We have samosas and vada pav available. So please raise your hand if you are going to eat vada pav. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10. 10 vada pav and samosas. 1, 2, 2 samosas and tea, coffee, tea. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 cups of tea, coffee. No coffee. No coffee. Gaurut sir, can you convince the canteen?
Yes, sir, I will do it. I will call the canteen person and inform.
Yeah. Good evening, everyone. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Good evening, Mr. President, my fellow Toastmasters, and my dear guests. Today, I am the language evaluator. My name is Harsh. I will now introduce the word of the day and the idiom of the day. The word of the day is shore. What it means, right? The area where the sand meets the water is called shore. An example how we can use in our daily sentence, like everywhere pieces, actually it is a quote. Everywhere pieces the shore, while the sand hugs your toes and the wind brushes your cheeks. Anyone like to use this word of the day, shore, in your own regular sentence? I love to put any.
Recently, I have been to Joe Beach and saw the show.
Anyone from online? Online folks? like to use the word of the day?
Everyone likes cake, so let's try to make.
So coming to the idiom of the day. Now the idiom of the day is the world is your oyster. What it means? It is not something related to beach or something. It's a common quote. The world is your oyster. So it means like the expression that you can do anything you want in your life, anything you desire in your life, or in a given situation. Like the idiom of the day means it has no limitations. Whatever work you do, or whatever task you carry out. An example to use in a sentence is the world was my oyster, and that is very true for my work. Anyone like to use what idiom of the day?
When you become Toastmaster of the day, any topic is your oyster. For every topic, word is your oyster.
Anyone?
Yes. So when we are in trouble, we go to the shore, then we feel that the world is our oyster because we get a lot of solutions there.
Yeah, any online people? I encourage all the speakers to use a word of the day, idiom of the day, and please give a thumbs up if anyone uses the word of the day or idiom of the day. So I will present my report at the end of the meeting. Yeah. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Someone else will be observing every single thing that will happen today. Later, that person will give us a feedback about the proceedings, the environment, and general comments. So about the general evaluator, we have somebody who is an engineer with MBA. He's an author, a corporate professional, and a turnaround expert. He likes his interests include technology, books, scriptures, drawing, and painting. His view of us about something that makes him feel special about the beach is that he gets impressed by the enormity of the great ocean, and it's indeed a humbling experience for him. Let's welcome our general evaluator, Toastmaster Nandan Bhojraj. Beaches are the result of wave action, by which waves or currents move sand or other loose sediments of which the beach is made, as these particles are held in suspension. Alternatively, sand may be moved by saltation. Beach material comes from erosion of rocks offshore, as well as from headland erosion. A coral reef offshore is a significant source of sand particles. Some species of fish that feed on algae attached to coral outcrops and rocks can create substantial quantities of sand particles over their lifetime as they nibble during feeding, digesting the organic matter, and discarding the rock and coral particles which pass through their digestive tracts. If we have observed, there are several colors of sand on shore: white, pink, coral, black, red, orange, green sand. Now we get back to the agenda of the meeting. The first half consists of 4 prepared speeches from the Pathway program. Each speech has a specific time limit and certain fixed objectives. That's why we call it as a project. Each project teaches us some aspects of public speaking, such as body language, vocal variety, or persuasive skill. There are many aspects that these speakers will try to develop and excel at. The first speaker will be attempting level 1 project 1 from the visionary communication pathway. The project is going to be an icebreaker speech. The purpose of this project is to introduce the club and learn the basic structure of a public speech. The evaluator for this speech is Toastmaster Kailash. The time allowed is 4 to 6 minutes, meaning the lighting sequence would be green at 4 minutes, yellow at 5 minutes, and red at 6 minutes. The buzzer will ring at 6.5 minutes. The title of the speech is My Journey. The speaker is a fellow member of ICSI and practicing company secretary for 6+ years with an expertise. With an expertise in corporate laws, taxation. He is interested in gardening, traveling, and reading. When asked about the thing that makes him feel special about the beach, he mentioned he feels very calm and stress-free when he stares at the water and sunset. Let's welcome Toastmaster People Virade.
Thank you, Toastmaster Parag. Yeah, I am audible.
Yes, yes,
Okay.
Deepal.
Yes. Good evening, fellow Toastmaster and dear guest. I am giving speech in 3 parts. In first part, I'll talk about my past. In second part of my speech is about my present situation. And in the last part, I will be talking about my goals, which I wanted to achieve. I, Deepal Birade, giving first speech, which is called icebreaker speech. When it comes to success, there are no shortcuts. Let's go down the memory lane and visit my journey from childhood to adulthood. Coming from background where nobody could ever think in their earnest dream that education can make huge differences to somebody's life. My parents thought to educate me and my sibling. The best they could afford was sending us to government school. Though my parents were struggling to make their daily needs, they made sure that we attend school. Yes, it was really difficult for our life to garner driving force to continue our education, despite all odds coming our way. At the juncture of our life, I feel weird that we were taught the English alphabet in 5th grade. As I enter in 10th grade. Being a below average student, I managed to get only 41%. A percentage which to get admission in a percentage which a majority of decent college would deny to admit any student in 11th grade. Somehow I managed to get admission in arts stream in 11th grade. I don't know how, but I did got serious towards my study. One thing I realized that if I really want to get out of this below mediocre of life, I really have to work hard. So I started working towards my dream. And yes, it was a big achievement for me when I scored 80% in 12th grade. From there, it was no looking back. For my further studies, I started taking up odd jobs to sponsor my education, working as office boy, hotel receptionist, and even initially days as selling of fruits on roadside. We know we are on the right path. Our journey is not finished, but we have came a long back way. At present, I am a practicing company secretary in Pune. Since 6.5 years background, where I come from, I think it's in your own hand to bring differences in their life. For that, it's really important that we should consistently work hard in our present to shape our future. The future depends on what we do in the present. Though it's not the end of my journey, there's a long way to go. A lot need to tick off from my bucket list. I am a firm believer of a karma. As we say, karma hi puja hai. This has always been my life motto. Plan what you want to achieve. Work hard to complete it. Finally, I can say that the world is your oyster if you are ready to do it. That's from my end. Thank you.
Let's pause for 30 seconds to write feedback for the speaker. Timer, let me know when 30 seconds are over. The second speaker will be attempting level 1, project 1 from the dynamic leadership pathway. The project is going to be an icebreaker speech. The purpose of this project is to introduce yourself to the club and learn the basic structure of a public speech. The evaluator for this speech is Toastmaster Kailash. The time allowed is 4 to 6 minutes, meaning the lighting sequence would be the same as it was for the previous speech. The title of the speech is The Experimenter. The speaker is from Latur. He is a process analyst in accounts payable department. He likes to play cricket, read books, watch movies. He is Akshay.
From I work as a process analyst. I shifted from 10 years ago. We are good members in my family. My parents, my younger sister, besides me. My mother is a primary school teacher and she is very strict and disciplined. Whatever she wants is close to perfection. My father, he runs a small hotel in my home. My family, sorry, my parents also take care of farming at home. My father, unlike my mother, my father are calm and cool. When I told them that I lost my phone, they told me that no worries, we will buy a new one. And they got me a more expensive phone. On the other hand, my mom scolded me. So whenever I see my parents, I remember the law of attraction, opposite attracts each other. My younger sister, currently she is pursuing B.Pharm. As a kid, sincere and listening to everyone, parents, teachers, friends, everyone. And I used to watch a lot of movies. And I like playing cricket. Still I like playing cricket. As a kid, I used to play more. And my favorite part was in summer. And with all my friends, I used to go out for honeycomb harvesting in my village. For that, we needed only lighter and a matchstick. That's it. And I used to wander all the farms around the village in search of hands-on. I've done my schooling from my hometown. As I mentioned earlier, I used to watch a lot of movies. And when I was in 8th or 9th, I watched two movies which impacted my life a lot. First one was Iron Man, and second one was JDS. I was just a big fan of Tony Stark. I mean, how he makes more photos, makes his own thing, makes it again, makes it again. I love that part. And it features also Amir Khan, how he makes it small little inventions. We can call it Jugaad. So I got kind of carried away by watching all that, and I did what most people do. In many cases, I completed my degree in mechanical engineering, and it took me 6 years to complete 4 years of engineering. And after finishing my engineering, I joined a firm. They were manufacturers of special purpose machines. I used to work there as an intern, and I was doing everything over there. I mean, designing, manufacturing, making them, whatever I did as a child. But then, after finishing my internship, I got selected in another company as a quality inspector, and it was the most boring job I ever done. I just have to check the previously manufactured of all the ammunition and do the documentation to the customer. So I looked for another job in India, but I couldn't find an India job. So I could change my field. And when I told this mother was like, why did you do engineering there? When I was in college, my friend told me about stock market. So I started learning about stock market since I was in college. And also started looking out in the market, easiest option available to make money. So I joined VPPR. My purpose is to learn central words to develop professionalism and communication skills. And it actually worked. I developed a lot of skills. And initially, I used to work with Kailash, with the company got shut down because they made a scam in the stock market. Then I joined HSBC Bank as a relationship manager. But I couldn't enjoy that, so I left that. After that, I tried my current company, and I was working there since last 1 year. I've been studying stock market and trading since last 4 years, and I'm trading actively since last 1.5 years. I want to have a career in it. And also, I want to start venture capital from like a Sequoia Capital or SoftBank to invest in startups. And, I like making movies, web series, listening to music, podcasts. On weekends, I mean, my aunt lives in Kailash, and next to Kailash, there is a backside of river. And then I go over there, and follow the beach. It's a river show actually. So I used to go over there, and it tends to clear my head. And I just wanted to say that whatever your education or qualification, it doesn't matter at all. I mean, whatever you want to pursue in life. Okay. It's like a world is your oyster. So you can do whatever you want. Thank you.
Let's pause for 30 seconds to write feedback for the speaker. Timer, let me know once 30 seconds are over. The third speaker will be attempting level 1 project 1 from the team collaboration pathway. The project is going to be an icebreaker speech. The purpose of this project is to introduce yourself to the club and learn the basic structure of public speech. The time allotted is 4 to 6 minutes, meaning the writing sequence would be the same as it was for the previous speech. The title of the speech is A Bit of Myself. The speaker is a commerce student. She is a major photographer and she likes watching movies. The calmness and beauty of the beaches amuses her. Let's welcome Toastmaster Arya Kulkarni.
I'm Arya Kulkarni and I'm giving an introductory speech today, that is the icebreaker speech. So I am a student right now with a keen interest in finance and economics. I'm also an amateur photographer and like to watch movies. So I was born in Satara and then I lived in Bangalore for 4 years before moving to Pune. So as the only child of my parents, I am always accustomed to all their attention and love just for me. And I think that's going to be a purposeful thing now. So as my parents were working since I was born, I've spent a lot of time with both sets of my grandparents. So hearing their stories, traveling with them and learning so much, I think it's still an ongoing journey for me. So I completed my schooling, senior school schooling. For the first few years of my schooling, I've always been a quiet, shy, and obedient child who always listens to the teachers and somehow teachers. But somehow the case changed later on. My parents are always told that your daughter is a very talkative child and is on with some mischief here and there. I still remember an incident that happened in a school. My friend and I were told to sit away from our friends in an attempt that we would talk less and would do some less mischief. But ironically, what happened was we befriended all the classmates around us and did the same thing. So the efforts were totally in vain. And another memorable experience I would like to share. There was once a Hindi poetry recitation competition in the school, and the thought of stepping on the stage and performing made me nervous. But still, I went ahead due to the insistence of our teachers, which I could not say no to. So I went ahead, I performed, and surprisingly, I also received the rank. That was a lifelong learning for me, a lifelong learning to overcome my fears, face them, and not to worry about things that are not really present at the moment. So I completed my schooling during the pandemic period. So it was a tough year, but that made me realize how privileged I was, how conditions at home, supportive environment had supported me a good health, and all the rest things which are not readily available to everyone. So then I entered college. Some things are exciting and some things are challenging for me. I have always struggled to match to a new environment. But as the quote says, the change begins at the end of your comfort zone. So I decided to finally step out of my comfort zone, make new friends, adapt to new things, and do things which are completely out of my comfort zone. I would not do them regularly. So I started developing my liking for photography when I was around 14. I'm an amateur photographer, and my father himself practices photography, so I got some insights from him. And later on, I realized that the camera had become one of my best friends. I could share my all moments with the camera as a friend. Beaches have always been one of my most favorite destinations to practice photography. The sunrises and sunsets at the beach shores have been a place to capture. With that, I also like watching movies. I generally watch movies from all genres. And I am a Christopher Nolan fan. So I've watched every of his movie. Again, I'm also pursuing German right now, and that's going to be a really wonderful experience for me. After, I would even like to take up the hobby of reading at a greater pace. That would be really beneficial for me considering all the work I want to do in the future. I want to work in the field of my interest in future along with acquiring all the skills. And I have always wanted to be a better public speaker and a communicator. That has brought me here to the Toastmasters Club. I'm really thankful to everyone here who has been very supportive and encouraging from day one. I'm really thankful for that. Also, I want to say that I want to learn from my experiences, learnings, failures, success, and grow along. So I would say the world is a oyster and a life is a wonderful journey of exploration. Thank you so much.
So let's pause for 30 seconds for the feedback. Timer, let me know once 30 seconds over. The fourth speaker will be attempting level 1, project 1 from the leadership development part. The project is going to be an icebreaker speech. The purpose is to introduce yourself to the club and learn the basic structure of public speech. The evaluator for this speech is distinguished Toastmaster Nagappan Palaniappan. The time allowed is 4 to 6 minutes, meaning the writing sequence would be the same as the previous speech. The title of the speech is Winning Attitude. The speaker is an IT professional who is currently working in MNC for a client in banking and financial domain. He is also an Agile certified practitioner having good knowledge in web version 3 and blockchain technology. He likes to play tennis, lawn tennis, reading. When asked about his views towards what makes him feel special about the beach, he mentioned, every beach has one common thing, that is positive vibes. And whenever he visits, he feels calm and composed that gives him wider perspective towards life. Let's welcome Toastmaster Saurabh Bhosle.
Warm good evening, Mr. President, fellow Toastmasters, distinguished Toastmasters, and dear guests. So today I am delivering speech. My feeling attitude towards my life. So sharing my life journey through winning attitude is basically categorically divided in my childhood, adulthood, and then my professional career. So in my childhood, I was born in the family of army back 25 years ago. So at the in the early childhood, I was a very naughty person in the school. So whenever my parents visited school, they are getting a lot of complaints about me. Like your child is very teasing and is very naughty towards to in the classroom. So up to the fourth, I'm in the that way. So after completing my fourth, as I belong to the army background, so I am very good at sports, but I'm not good at initial days. I'm not good at academics because I'm busy with in the naughtiness and all the stuff. So when my father is posting, my father's next posting is come. So suddenly we have to change everything. Like my schooling changed, my friends also changed, and my teachers also changed. And back to that change brings me the person and the winning attitude in myself. So when I joined new school, new friends, and with new teachers, and in the new school, I met one teacher. He's from history background. So I remember he's my game changer in my life because he motivated me towards my life, and he brings out of that change. Right now, I am here. So what change he had made me in that time? So he always said to me, if you want to be winner, you have to be a winner mentality. And what brings that winner mentality? You have the right confidence. And when the right confidence will come, that comes from the knowledge. So bring the knowledge and showcase your skill towards your I was very active in the sports. So he observed those skills I have. So taking his those thoughts from that age, uh, then my world is oyster for the world is oyster for me. So later, from my fifth standard to 10th standard, in my fifth standard, I secured second rank in the school. At earlier, fourth, I was nothing means in the academics, but because of that confidence that I got from him in fifth, I secured for the second, and rest of the sixth to 10th, I was first in overall classroom. So other side, I have one elder brother. He's very good from starting of his childhood to right now. Right now he's doing his IMA. He's doing military studying in Indian Military Academy Dehradun. So he's basically focused towards like from the beginning of his childhood, and in middle of that we got like in family like so many parent confusion is also there, like your boy is not doing something in well manner. So from the 6th to 10th, that also like got vanished because I am suddenly changed my life. And then after, when comes the 11th and 12th, so I wanted to be like an army officer. So I had prepared for the NDA examination. It's just I had completed the 12th class, and in my 12th, I also got really good marks, like above 70. So I was eligible for technical English stream as well as the NDA. So these two stream I was eligible. So I had given my examination of NDA. In my first attempt, I was not clear, but I had analyzed what went wrong, and from that, in the next attempt, I had cleared the exam. So I had cleared the exam, and I went for the SSB. And I think many of us know like what exactly the SSB. SSB, I will give you very light perspective on the SSB. SSB is a 5 days procedure, and it is very wide, and it is one of the world's toughest interview examination that brings out of you your personal skills as well as officers like qualities. If you have those qualities in you, then you are done for that position. If you don't have those qualities in yourself, then you are nothing, like you are out of from the game. So in my first SSB, I was first screening, first day I had cleared, but the whole procedure is for 5 days. I didn't clear the conference because of I was the self-esteem was very low in the entire process. So moving ahead, I was on for the second attempt, and in the second attempt, I had cleared the SSB for the technical entry skills. So which is altogether different entry, but the process is the similar. And once I cleared that examination, that brings me such a level of confidence inside me, like I can do anything. But my life is having different pathways towards me. So if I had cleared the SSB, but in the medical examination, I was not clear the exam. I was got disqualified because of color blindness. So I was having right now also that is a very rarest. It is not a disease. It is a parental what do you call, like parental transmission of disease. So I was yellow and blue colorblind person. So I was disqualified from that, and I have second plan in my hand because I am from the starting of 10 to the 12th, I was keeping my second plan with me. So I was the second plan is to pursue in the science stream, in the computer science background. So I joined computer science stream. I had completed my degree, and then I had completed my post graduation in the computer stream. So after that, when I was passed from the computer science stream. Then I had applied for the applied for 4 campus interviews, and those campus interviews I had cleared in the first attempt because of the confidence that I got from the SSB that made me a person with lot of knowledge that I had gathered through entire this overall degree and post-graduation degree. So the combination of the confidence and the knowledge that with experience and with the experiment, which brings out of your true character. So moving ahead, what are my hobbies? So my hobbies like playing tennis, playing basketball. So I was really good in the. So I was from the starting of my career, I was really good at sports. So playing tennis, basketball, lawn tennis, those are key key sports activities and hobbies. So I would say like why sports is important, because if the sports is not inside, if you are not a sports person, so you will not reveal your true character, because if you want to play tennis, tennis is like altogether a different game. So for the time purpose, I would like to end my speech with if you want to a winning attitude, you have to learn, relearn, and unlearn, and then experiment those things. That brings your winning attitude inside you. Thank you so much.
Let's have the timers report now. Toastmaster, can you give us the exact timings for the qualification of best speaker?
All the speakers are qualified except Saurabh, and Toastmaster people took 4 minutes 14 seconds. Akshay took 5 minutes 44 seconds. Arya took 4 minutes 52 seconds. Saurabh took 9 minutes 14 seconds.
Let us cast our votes for the best speaker now.
These are the 3 names shown in the screen. What are the 2 names? Yes. Speakers also can vote.
Online folks, please vote. People, Varun, Akash, Kailash, Kumar, you all can vote. And I'm going to end the polls in a couple of seconds. 1:30 here. By 1:50, 5-6 seconds.
So we'll now have a break of 5 minutes. Timer, let me know once 5 minutes are over. So this is a question to all of you. Any wild guesses on how many number of beaches are there on this earth?
8 million.
The count is very finite though. There are 682 beaches, and out of which 15 are more famous beaches around. to name few, are Santa Monica Beach, California, South Beach, Miami, Florida, Renaissance Island, Aruba, Maya Bay Island, Copacabana, Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, Nevatio, Greece. And if we see, India has a coastline of 7,516.6 kilometers, right? And out of which you'll find 40 beaches in Goa. Yeah. So have you ever thought that there would be some interaction between the water and the land because they are neighbors to each other? So let's see how do they interact with each other, right? Hey ocean, I'm so strong and full of life with humans. I'm with my friends, my trees, my plants, my people around. Ocean says, hey land, I'm so beautiful with beautiful blue water with shells, fishes, and aquatic plants and full of life. If we relate this to our mind and body, what do you think our mind is and what do you think our body is? Our mind is like ocean, right? Where you'll find there are so many endless thoughts that come to our mind. And our ocean, if we see, it is again so vast, it is endless, it is infinite. So, ocean is vast, having no end. On similar lines, our mind is having endless thoughts. Our body is tough, our land is tough, because it is bearing a pressure of all the different species. But it's very important to build that connect between the body and mind. That's the way they are connected to each other. Now it's time for evaluations. The evaluators will give their written and oral feedback to the speaker at the end of the meeting. But they'll also give some feedback in 2 to 3 minutes here. The timing sequence is green at 2 minutes, yellow at 2 minutes, 30 seconds, and red at 3 minutes. The buzzer will be heard at the end of 3 minutes, 30 seconds. The first speech by Toastmaster Deepal Virade will be evaluated by someone who is a senior consultant working with an internal audit firm, who likes traveling, adores food, and loves playing sports. He also loves any form of art. He mentioned sea breeze, the waves, the soft sand, the small soft pebbles, and so many such things makes the beach special for him. Let's welcome Toastmaster Kailash Pune.
Honorable President, fellow Toastmasters and guests, a very good evening to one and all. My target speaker for today, Toastmaster Deepal Virade, delivered this icebreaker speech. Let me start with the things that I liked about his speech. So, first of all, his speech was very well structured. He started speaking about his past, then his present, and then future. So the speech was chronologically accurate. He mentioned some positive aspects about his life while delivering his speech. For example, he mentioned about how he got near 42% in his 10th standard and then went on to obtain 85% in his 12th standard, which I believe symbolizes a rags to riches story. This also translated in his career. For example, he started doing odd jobs, first of all, like working in a hotel, selling foods. And then he completed his education completing his company secretarial course. And then finally, definitely joining Toastmasters, which is a very big and an important career decision which he has taken. And I really congratulate people for this decision. A few recommendations from my side. So I would have liked people to be present in person for today's meeting, considering we have three more speakers who have been giving their icebreaker speech today. So it would have made more sense for him to be present in person, so that it would have been a better experience for us to listen to him in person and also for him to deliver his speech. He spoke about, I feel that the speech would have been a little more lengthier, so it took hardly 4 minutes, 15 seconds. So it would have made it a little more lengthier by speaking more about his childhood. At the end, he could have concluded by stating the purpose of joining Toastmasters, which I believe was missing from his speech. But overall, I think it was a great start to his Toastmasters journey, and congratulate people for taking this decision to be a part of Toastmasters. And I believe that the world is definitely your oyster when you join an organization such as Toastmasters. And with that, I hand over to the Toastmaster of the day, congratulating people on beginning his Toastmasters.
The second speech by Toastmaster Akshay Kalse will be evaluated by someone who is an IT professional working as an engineer in the company called Six Sense Insights. He loves sketching. Let's welcome Toastmaster Kailash Sutar.
Am I visible and audible?
Yes.
Okay,
one sec, we have to fix timer for you guys.
She can show here. No?
You can
She can show here. You want to show the green card here, so that we will ask him to see.
So please observe when you see the green card here.
Anywhere you can show, anywhere comfortable.
Stand and try that.
Whether it is easier, this is easier.
No,
Or come here. You can sit here.
TMCP common, that is where you will see the cards.
yeah, all right.
Just a minute. You can see that.
Yeah, just wait. Both of you will see the card there.
Okay.
So the card is.
Can you see the card?
No, not yet. So the green card.
Yeah, it's visible.
Okay.
Yellow?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Right.
Yeah. Good evening, Mr. President, fellow Toastmasters, and dear guest. Today, Akshay Kalse have delivered his first speech, that is icebreaker speech. And the purpose of icebreaker speech is to introduce yourself to the club of the club members. So yeah, the objective was well achieved. He was able to introduce himself. So in his speech, he introduced himself, his family member, then his college life, and then about his journey toward the corporate life. Yeah, just apart from that, it was I mean, the coming to recommendation. It was very difficult for me to I mean, hear what is his speech. Most of the time I had to make guesses what he was speaking. So the one recommendation I would like to give him is, I mean, when the evaluator is available on even other platform, like the speech is on the physical meeting and I was evaluating the virtual meeting. So please make sure that you are completely audible to the to the evaluator. I'm not sure if he was audible or not audible to the person sitting at the end in the room, but it was certainly not audible to me. So yeah, I was not able to evaluate him completely. So yeah, I mean, that's all. Maybe looking forward to hear more speeches from Akshay. Thank you, TMOD.
The third speech by Toastmaster Arya Kulkarni will be evaluated by someone who is working as assistant professor at the Symbiosis School of Economics. He teaches courses on agricultural economics, rural development. Teaching in college makes him feel young and energetic. He likes traveling, trekking, and attending satsang. He mentioned that beach is the nature's gift, and he loves walking on the beach. Let's welcome Toastmaster Varun Miglani.
Honorable President, Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmasters, guests, a very good evening to one and all. I hope I'm audible to one and all sitting in the hall.
Yes.
Thank you. First of all, I would like to congratulate Arya for letting us be part of your life. Your speech helped us know more about you as a person. And I can definitely say the world is your oyster. First, I would like to say the things which I really liked about your speech. Your language was clear. I think the words were very clearly understood. You had a good eye contact with the audience, which I felt when you were looking at the audience and speaking. You felt very comfortable. Mother, you were at ease while speaking. And I really like you use the hand gestures also. Mother, it was just not that you were keeping the hands at the desk or something. Your hands were flowing very freely. So that motivates me also to use my hands. There are few things which I would like to mention. Before that, yeah, one important thing is the interest. You made me interest in you. You made me feel interested when you were saying, when you were sharing your life journey. I got interested with the help of the examples or the instances which you mentioned. For example, how did you pick the photography? You know, and how a photograph, the camera became your friend. Now, these are few instances which reveals a person character, a humbleness, a innocence of a person. So thank you for sharing that with us. Few things which I would like to give suggestions, or you may take as recommendations. You can work on vocal variety. What I felt is the speech, the flow, or what I can say is the speed or the tone was constant throughout the speech. It could have been something a powerful, or a powerful way you expressed one instance or one thing, so that could have just brought in more energy. Second is when it comes to physical gesture, it was the hand movement was similar. So I felt maybe there could have been some more, if something on camera you were putting in, some more gestures, hand gestures could have been used, which would just help us connect more with the audience. Overall, I would like to say, Arya, welcome to Toastmasters Club Pune. And I really looking forward to meet you in person also and hear more speeches from you. The world is your oyster. Just go for it. Best of luck.
The fourth speech by Toastmaster Saurabh Bhosle will be evaluated by someone who has been a Toastmaster for the last 9+ years. He's an IT professional working with a Japanese IT company in Pune. He's interested in public speaking, personal finance, and physical fitness. He recently started drinking and is a regular follower of TMKOC. He mentioned, we get to de-stress, we get D-vitamin, and also have our dreams about what we want to achieve when we are on beach. Let's welcome distinguished Toastmaster Nagappan Palaniappan.
Honorable President, Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmasters and guests, good evening.
Good evening.
and good evening to my target speaker, Toastmaster Saurabh. Today, Toastmaster Saurabh has given his icebreaker speech with the title Winning Attitude. Let us look at how he has done the speech. I would like to use the acronym ICE to evaluate that. I is for intention or the purpose of the speech. The purpose of the icebreaker is to introduce himself to the club and learn the basic structure of the speech. We look at whether the Toastmaster achieved the purpose. Yes, I could see him that he introduced himself. He mentioned about the various details about his life, and he also has understood the basic structure of the speech. You have achieved the purpose of the intention of this speech. Second one is about the content. The second part, the content or the structure. In Toastmaster speech, always we have structure, which is the opening, body, and conclusion. Let us see how you have done that. I think in the opening, you greeted all the members here. Then you also said, I am going to give my speech on 3 areas like childhood, adulthood, and professional. So that way you set a good opening, and then you went into the content part, the body part, where I could see you explaining a lot of details. You could not come to the conclusion because you ran out of time. The third aspect is about the engineering or the technical aspects of the speech. When it comes to the technical aspects of the speech, it is about the body language or vocabulary. Should we pay more attention in the icebreaker speech? Normal Toastmaster says we don't have to look at the body language or the other technical aspects like vocabulary, icebreaker speech. But in your case, I could see that you were much comfortable. You came here, you started giving a speech. When we stand behind the lecture, we take the support. Even if I have a little nervousness that gets hidden, or maybe I feel this is a support for me to hide my nervousness. But in your case, you came here, you started giving a speech. That shows that you are ready to take the risk and you are ready to stand in front of audience. That's a good kudos to you. But as that well. Second one, I think I could see that I think we explained various details when you are studying in one place and when you move the show into the other place, how you found the changes in you. And you also said that the world is an oyster for you when you move to the other place. Good thing, I think that you explained, which also motivates others. Oh, how you have changed from this place to another and how you got motivated. You've done that very well. Also, you explained about how you moved from a non-academic person to second rank, first rank, and faculty. You gave very well in studies. Again, a good motivation for all of us. What we could improve in this area is about the language part. I could see that I think you were using unnecessary filler or maybe the word called so. You are connecting each sentence with the so. So I am very good at like that. I can see that so or and are the two things which we are using for connecting. When I connect all these things, I could see that maybe a little more preparation for the speech could have helped you to maintain the time, could have helped you to improve the language part, and I am sure you will do that. And I look forward to your wonderful speeches in these areas. Thank you, and over to the Toastmaster.
We'll now have timers report. Can you tell us who qualifies for the best evaluator?
Kailash doesn't qualify. Remaining 3 qualify.
Thank you. Now we will vote for the best evaluator.
Strong speeches by Aksa Beach.
So taking the conversation ahead, we can see that beach talking to the land saying, I'm also tough as you are. I can devastate at certain point in time. And land says, yes, I'm also bearing a lot of pressure. So ultimately here, the beach that is combination of water and land teaches us to be strong and to deal with the situation in a very optimistic way as it comes. Now let's test our ability to think fast and speak impromptu in the table topic session. The table topic master is a project manager at IBM with overall 22 years of experience. He is interested in skill development and keeping current with the technology. He said, beach is one of the best places to enjoy and relax. Let's welcome Toastmaster Shivendra Sinha.
The purpose of the table topic is to develop the ability to think on your feet. I am going to invite some of the Toastmasters and guests to speak on the topic, each topic. You will be coming there, will shake hand with me and before and after the speech, and then you can talk on those topics. Start with, I am requesting also. The topic is that share the favorite memory of CD.
My topic is
Favorite memory of CD.
favorite memory of a sea beach never have visited in my life. So, good evening, everyone. So my topic is favorite beach. So when I shifted to Pune in my first year, so we had a trip planned along with a cultural group near Divyagar beach. That was the first beach I have ever visited in my lifetime. Not with any family members, not with anyone, only with just unknown people. Say about we were 20 to 30 people, not knowing each other. We bought in being the same college, everyone was unknown to each. Like we were the best memory I could say that when we were going to the boarding point, when we were meeting at the boarding point, no one had knew their own names. But while returning back to our homes, everyone was like bonded like, "Arey, we have like means everyone was bonded such like we have to we are a group and we are continuing this group." So the main motive behind this memory is like it reminds me of a good bond between what we can say between people, what it connects with us, like sharing things, doing some mischievous activities on the beach, or like playing in water, playing with the sand. Nothing's permanent in this now, but then the best memory I could ever live and ever want to cherish in my life. Thank you.
First of all is what are the benefits of going to beach?
Can't hear you.
What is the benefit of going to beach?
Thank you. My topic is what's the benefits of going to the beach? There are many benefits. Like you get a nice air, you get to see the sea and the waves of the sea, and you get to see seagulls. Maybe you get an oyster or something. Maybe you get to meet people. You know, even I remember going to the beaches and my legs are in the sand and I move my legs and I run and I jump in the water. I play with the water. These are some excellent memories I have, and I feel so relaxed and so after a long week at work or something like that. Beach is an excellent place to unwind and relax your mind, your body. Thank you.
1 minute for visit the benefit of the guest. So on 1 minute, we will show the right. We will show the green card. On 1.5 minutes, we will show the yellow card. At 2 minutes, we will display the red card, and 2.5 minutes buzzer. So next, I will ask Dheeraj Reddy. Given an option of air conditioning or CP, which we need given an option of air conditioning or heat from beach, which we need.
Can't hear you. Can you speak louder? Maybe nearer the camera, near the mic.
Given an option of air conditioning or sea beach, what will you select and why?
If I'm also given an option to take my friends, then I would definitely choose a sea beach, because for me, sea beach is not only about seagulls, the water, sand. It is about when your legs are in that sand, in that water, flowing through your legs. I think there is a level of introspection that happens in you that that makes you realize, and it calms you and makes you realize what you want to do and where you want to go. That I think is really important for us, and that's why I would prefer going to a sea beach over being in an air conditioned room any day. Right. That's it. Thank you.
Akash, who is online. We do not have any guest in the room.
We have Umar Juneja online.
Guest only one person.
Toastmaster from JPK Youth Club in Delhi.
Umar
I asked to turn the camera on. Yes, turn it on.
So I have covered 3: Akash, Kumar Juneja, and Tausif.
No, Akash is still there. Tausif has gone. You can give a topic to Kumar with the Toastmaster.
Okay, so this is for Akash, and then we go for the Kumar. Share some.
So Akash is not online. Seen. So Kumar is online. So give a topic to Kumar.
Kumar. So the Kumar, the topic for you is that share some of the tips you want to do. Share some tips around do's and don'ts of a beach trip. Share some of do's and don'ts for a beach trip.
Could someone? Yeah. I'm sorry, I could not hear you properly. Could someone write the question in chat window? Could not hear it properly.
Or don'ts
of sea beach.
For the sea beach. Tips for the sea beach. Do's and don'ts of a sea beach.
Beach. Do's and don'ts of a sea beach. Okay. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and my dear friends. Whenever we are going to a sea beach, I think the most important do is don't carry your clothes. Wear as less clothes as you can and enjoy the breeze. It gives the most pleasurable feeling in the world. I could recall my memory when I went to some of the beaches in my life, and like I went to Goa, I have been to some beaches there, and I could recall that I was relaxing there for a couple of hours without talking to anyone, just sitting there alone. So I only see the do's are there. The don't is don't carry your mobile phone, don't check social media there, and you will get to know more and more about yourself in isolation, and the natural weather you will enjoy, which you don't get in polluted cities like Delhi, Mumbai, Kolkata, and all those cities. So it's a great opportunity that you can have your own company, which you at the time don't have. You are always surrounded by television, mobile phones, your friends, your parents. So that are the two tips I would like to give whenever you are going to a beach. So that's all from my side. Over to you.
So next I would like to call Kailash.
Hey,
So the topic for you is that why beaches are more romantic. Hope you heard. Why beaches are more romantic.
okay. So I'm repeating my topic. My topic is why beaches are more romantic, right? Okay.
Yes.
Good evening once again. So why beaches are more romantic? So I mean, after working for 5 day a week, or many days in a year, the people try to find peace, and they want to relax, right? So they choose to travel to some places, right? Sometimes they visit fort, and some other places, temple, uh, maybe some garden, and the beaches are the most visited place in all of the places, right? And they are, I feel, the reason are they enjoy that themselves over there. They are able to, uh, express their emotion and all, right? And yeah, and uh, yeah, that's all. Thank you. Over to TTM.
There is one more guest online who is Akash Tatwani. I have asked him to turn video on. Once he does that, we can invite him. You can give topics to people here. Whoever wants can participate. Shout. Okay, Akash has turned his video on.
Hi, Akash.
Hi everyone.
So, Akash, I can see a nice and clean beach behind you. So, my question to you is what affects beach health? That is what I'm repeating. What affects beach health? That is what pollutes beach.
Sorry,
What pollutes the beach?
What
What pollutes beaches?
What pollutes beaches?
Yeah, I would say the more humans visit the beach, the more it get polluted. Uh, I would say, there's no other being which would actually pollute the beach apart from human beings, given the nature and the way they basically throw waste across the place, across all places. So I think one of the ways that we can prevent pollution on the beaches is to be very vigilant in terms of throwing waste materials around, and being careful about the environment. So the way we maintain our homes in general, we should be looking at beaches in a similar fashion. So generally, the attitude is that a beach is only for a temporary visit, and we have just visited once and come back to our homes and live our regular lives. So that attitude generally, inculcates carelessness in people, and they just become very basically free about wastes and other materials. So the attitude has to be that basically a beach is not just something which is to be visited for a few days or a few hours, and be able to come back to our place. But it has to be looked at as a public property, and the attitude has to be that once we leave, there will be some other people visiting the place, so that basically we have to take care of the place as well as we take care of our own homes in general. So I think that is something that we should think about all the time.
Thank you, Akash. So next, I would like to call.
Thank you.
Next, I would like to call for TTM also. For table which is your favorite beach destination across world?
The question is, which is my favorite destination of a beach? As I mentioned in my introduction, the most favorite beach that anyone wants to be around is Rio de Janeiro, Copacabana and Ipanema, two beaches which I still remember. As I was walking around those beaches, I saw several beautiful women with beautiful bodies who were playing beach volleyball, beach football. Even young kids were playing football on beach. And kids as young as 4 or 5 years of age had such a great sense of soccer that they were passing the ball perfectly. And what I have seen in India is all kids run around the ball. But there I saw that even young kids were having the sense of passing the ball and playing. And all the women there were fearless, they didn't have shame, they were not hiding themselves when others were looking at them, they were boldly showing their beautiful bodies. So because of that, you don't feel that men are looking at them with lust, because they are bold, they are expressing themselves in this fashion. And one more beach I remember, that was Kiveri in Greece, where I was in a family of my pen friend. And we were chatting around there as if I am one of them. They were so close to me despite being there for 3 days. The reason was I had communicated with them for about 30 years by letters. And because of that, we were as if I was one of their family members. And they were chatting. My pen friend asked me whether her cousin is boring me. So I said, no, he's telling me about Greek economy and I'm enjoying that. She said, no, he's telling about his opinion of Greek economy and not Greek economy. And there was another kid who said, can I speak to you? And he spoke to me and he said, I'm trying to learn English, so if you spot any mistakes in me, let me know. So I really was appalled that a kid of 10 years of age had the attitude of telling me to correct him if he were to go wrong. I'm still in touch with those guys. The kid is now 20 odd and he communicates with me over Facebook chat often. But I remember that as a cherished moment because there are priceless moments. You must have seen MasterCard ads. Okay? There are some moments which are priceless. So that was one of the priceless moments where, despite being from different country, I felt as if I belong to that family. With that, I hand over back to Kailash. Yeah, we have.
So yes. If being at beach is good for your health, being at beach is good for your health.
Sorry, what is the topic?
Being at beach is good for health.
Good evening, everyone. I came to Pune 2 years ago as a class 11 student. My father admitted me to a hostel, and we all know when we live in a hostel, most of the time we are not that much interactive with the outside world. And the most of the time, what happened with me is I was a kind of a lone child, and I was a kind of a depressed guy. And in that hostel, I made a lot of friends. And once upon a time, my friend told me to my friends and me planned a trip to Mumbai. And that weekend, we went to Mumbai and we visited the Juhu beach. And I think so that was the time. Sunset, warm, cool breezing airs, water, and I observing the water, and that was the time I think that all that I had in my mind went down, and I felt fresh about it, and I felt really energetic, and I think so that's how beach helped me to eradicate my anxiety and my depression, and made me think more about myself and explore more about myself. Thank you so much for giving me this.
So the question for you is, with whom do you prefer going to a beach and why? With whom you like to go to a beach?
topic given to me is with whom would I like to go on the beach? Before I go on the topic, I would like to say good evening, Mr. President, fellow Toastmasters, and my dear guests. Of course, the people that I would like with me on the trip would be my family and my family friends, because when I met my family and with my dad's biker gang friends, there is a atmosphere of peace that I have no tension during the trips. It can be any trip. Like just like last week, I went to Lonavala, where it's not it's a hill station, but it's not known for its beaches and everything. So, but we were in the resort, and it was such a warm and peaceful environment. So I did not have any tension, and I was not anxious, and I was full of confidence during that trip. And especially with the family friends like Zerg's uncle and JP uncle, they are like party animals, and then when we go on the beaches, it's like they change the atmosphere completely. And these are the people I would like to go on the trip. Thank you.
Yes, one topic if someone wants. Does anyone wish to speak? Yeah, already spoke. Yeah, already spoken. Let me be the last one.
So the topic is, what is the most dangerous activity at beach?
Honorable President, Toastmaster of the day, topics, Master fellow Toastmaster, and guests, good evening to all of you. What is the most dangerous activity in the beach? That depends on the person. What is the dangerous activity? What I feel as a dangerous activity may not be dangerous for you. I have seen beaches, multiple places, and especially the beach like Marina Beach or maybe the beaches in the southern part of the eastern part of India. I have seen the beaches more common. There always people are want not to go into the beach area or maybe for swimming or because maybe it's a more deeper area, and so people are being asked. So there in that area, going for swimming may be dangerous unless if you are a professional or if you are doing that. I think even I have seen the fishermen also they get into that and they end up risking their life. So that is a risk there. I have also seen some beaches here in the western part of India, beaches in Maharashtra like Alibag and all these. I could see a lot of people doing more of water sports, and people do something like a bungee jump and all that. To me, that is dangerous, and unless you, or somebody else that may be an adventurous sports to do that. I have seen even Singapore also said those island people go there to do some bungee jumping and then coming back. I don't know why people, there are a lot of areas in life also we get into a lot of risk. In professionally, you can take a lot of risk. I don't know why people want to go there, jump and then do a risk of their life. Maybe if I ask them, to me it may look like a dangerous, but if I ask them, they say it is adventure, you don't understand. That is the gap of people's way of thinking on the age gap. That's what they say. So what I feel as a danger may not be danger for you, and what you feel as danger may not be danger for me. But in beach, always we need to be safe and enjoy the beach so that we will also be safe. Thank you for the conversation.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shivendra Sana.
Akash and Deven haven't qualified, so remaining all of them have qualified. Akash Bhojra.
It's not good.
Right.
And Deven is not qualified. Remaining all are qualified.
We'll go through where all the links are there. I will put the link that we have. You will see that on the screen in a couple of seconds. Why is it still not there?
No, actually, I'm showing the secondary state there. Okay, let's wait. You want to show that? It's not
For those who don't know Marathi, there is a famous song by Veer Savarkar about how he misses India, the motherland, and how the sea has cheated him by bringing him to England and not taking him back. Music is by Rabindranath Mangeshkar, sung by all Mangeshkar's siblings, Lata, Asha, Rabindranath, Usha, Meena.
So it's time now for the language evaluator to come forward to get this report. Let us welcome Toastmaster Harsh Dhalke.
Online folks, we are closing, please. Good evening once again. I will be now presenting my report. Now the theme is speeches. As we explore different kinds of speeches, different kinds of instances, experiences, etc. The good uses of the language that I noted during the meeting were like the words used by T.O. Modi, like imparts, scenic beauty, like our Toastmaster Varun used the word instances, the word privilege, optimistic, etc. So these kinds of words hold a common meaning, but the use of these words holds a different perspective in every speech or every what you can say, every topic what you speak on the stage here. So like exploring from different kinds of beaches to different kinds of weather, different kinds of experiences or different kinds of dangers or different kinds of uses what we see here. Like some places where there were need to be some improvement like time, what we can say, some types of repetitive words or sometimes some types of fillers, etc. So what only we should see and improve that we should use a different types of set of words or different kinds of vocabulary or different what we can say different types of improvements in our next upcoming speeches or upcoming roles. The speakers mostly were encouraged to use the word of the day and the idiom of the day. The word of the day and idiom of the day were used by most of us in the meeting today. That was a good plus point. And the word of the day and the idiom of the day was related to the theme beaches. That was again a plus point. And if the word of the day holds the most common word what we used in this meeting. The speakers who have used the word of the day and the idiom of the day were the Toastmaster people, the T.O. Modi himself, Toastmaster Arya in her speech, Toastmaster Varun for evaluating the speech. DTM Nagappan sir also used the both, means like word of the day and idiom of the day in his speeches, in his speech. And the idiom of the day was used by Toastmaster Kailash and Toastmaster Varun. Let us have a round of applause for them. As we have enjoyed the meeting, the overall language perspective and everything was good, though being a short of time or being some technical difficulties, and everything was good. So with this, I conclude my report. Over to Toastmaster of the day.
Now we'll have the council report. Let's welcome Toastmaster Dev Sharma.
Good evening, Mr. President, fellow Toastmasters, and my dear guests. We often find ourselves using curt words or fillers like you know, so, and or meaningless sounds like when we are searching for the right words to say. Such words can distract from our speech and give the impression that we are not that well prepared. Instead, try just pausing a moment while you straighten out your thoughts. This will help to reduce our reliance on those words and we will obtain a clear and eloquent speech. I will be presenting my report now. The first speaker for today was the Sergeant at Arms, Toastmaster Yash. He had 4 R's, 4 arms and 1 R. Now, the second speaker was the Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Parag. He had 2 R's, 3 arms, 2 R's, and used the filler word so once. During the presidential address, distinguished Toastmaster Prasad Sir was flawless. Now I move on to the correct speeches. Speaker number 1, Toastmaster Deepal, had 1 R. Speaker number 2, Toastmaster Akshay, had 5 plus R arms, but 5 R's and 5 plus R's. Speaker number 3, Toastmaster Arya, had 5 R's, 3 R's. She used the filler word so 5 plus times, and she had also used the meaningless sound or twice. Speaker number 4, Toastmaster Saurabh, had 5 plus R's. He used the filler word so 5 plus times. Meaningless sound or 5 plus times, and 5 plus times, and also repeated the word parental twice, and also used the filler word and 5 plus times. Now I move on to the evaluators. Evaluator number 1, Toastmaster Kailash, had used the filler word so once, 5 times, once. Evaluator number 2, Toastmaster Kailash, had used the filler word so twice, 3 times, 5 plus times, and once. Evaluator number 3, Toastmaster Varun, had 5 plus arms or twice, and the filler word once. And also the R was also used twice. Evaluator number 4, distinguished Toastmaster Nagappan sir, was flawless. The language evaluator Toastmaster Harsh had 5 plus R's, 1 unusual pause. The word at was repeated once and had 2 R's. Our table topic master Toastmaster Shivendra had 1 R and repeated the filler word so thrice, 4 times. Table topic speaker number 1, Toastmaster Harsh, had 4 arms and repeated used the filler word so once. Table topic speaker number 2, Toastmaster Akash, had used the filler word twice and also used the filler word so once. The next speaker, guest Dhiren, had 2 R's and used the filler word thrice. Table topic speaker number 4, Toastmaster Kumar, had 4 arms, 2 R's, 1 R, and used the filler word so twice. Toastmaster Kailash in this table topic speech had 5 plus R's, 5 plus arms, and used the filler word so twice. Table topic speaker number 6, guest Akash, had 5 plus R's, 4 R's, used the filler word so thrice, had 5 plus R's, and also used the filler word once. Table topic speaker number 7, distinguished Toastmaster Prasad, had 1 short pause and 1 R. Table topic speaker number 8, Toastmaster Yash, had 5 plus R's, 1 R and 1 R. Table topic speaker number 9, distinguished Toastmaster Nagappan sir, had 2 R's and 1 R. This brings an end to my report. And the Toastmasters were flawless with no R's and no R's. Were
distinguished Toastmaster sir during his presidential address and distinguished Toastmaster Nagappan sir during his evaluation speech. Let us have a round of applause for them. With this, I conclude my report and hand over the stage back to the Toastmaster.
So someone was observing the proceedings of the entire meeting till now give his report. Over to you, Toastmaster Nandan Bhojraj.
Good evening. Today it was really a fantastic and extraordinary session because we had 4 icebreaker speeches. It was like a breeze of fresh air from the shore because all speeches were very fresh, innocent, and wonderful. When we started the program, it was on time, and it started around 30 minutes also, and he has collected also the votes from all the time. The only thing what I would suggest to him is that he can show a little more enthusiasm when he is greeting the people, but he showed a lot of enthusiasm during his tabletop speech, so he has made it up. So wonderful job done. As regard the presidential address, it was as usual very wonderful, which was relevant to the theme, and it was very inspirational and it was also motivated the people who wanted to give the speech for the first time. As regard TMOD, his accent is very wonderful. His speech is very flawless, and he explained the agenda quite well. He has also explained some good trivia in his speech. He has shown the slide, which was a good usage of the presentation. What I would really like to suggest to him that he can add some humorous facts into his speech so that it will be also a very enjoyable speech. But fantastic job done. As regards timer, she was very meticulous as usual, and she has clearly shown the board solve. Only thing is that the bell sound was very gentle, but that we can accept because she is a gentle person. As regards table topic, Master here explained all the overall situation about the purpose of table topic very well. He also explained the timing, but he explained it after 1 or 2 speeches, so that point can be improved. And only thing which I would like to tell is that you should have a booming voice, so that everybody can listen. And we have a very great example in V.P.PR. Prasad sir, that his voice is always very clearly audible, also on the online people, also for the online people who are there. And you also gave very good topics. Because one topic was dangerous, it was so very well defined. So wonderful job done, table topic master. As regard the speech evaluator, all the 4 people have done a fantastic job. They use the CRC approach. They have been giving the encouraging and specific feedbacks. So except for the technical challenge which was faced by for the evaluator of Mr. Akshay Kalse, which I think next time we can definitely give certain kind of improvements. Coming to the language evaluator, we had explained the word of the day and the idiom of the day very appropriately. The world is your oyster. So anybody knows who has actually said this statement, the world is your oyster? Actually, it has come from Shakespeare, who wanted to say that whenever a young person goes starts his life and gets into his journey, the world is like oyster to him, and we don't know what is inside that oyster. The oyster is very difficult to open, but once you open it, you might also find a pearl in it. So I would congratulate to Sahaj that he has given a wonderful video of the day, which is appropriate to the people who are giving the icebreaker speech. So the people are new and the subjects are new and the world is new for them. So wonderful job done. Coming to the counter. he has carefully noted everything and he has given very specific feedbacks. He has also given applause to the people who have followed the only thing, as he has already understood that he has to see the time part of it. And then it will be all flawless and perfect. So good job done. And I've always seen Tej and being always a team worker in the overall program. Today also he found this table which is somewhere and he has got it here. So that's also something which has been noticed in the overall appraisal of the program. The overall program was very rightly handled, was on time. Agenda was also followed properly. The waiting room was also well arranged. One good thing I found is that guest Akash Katangi put a beach wallpaper, which is a live wallpaper, which is a new thing which I have seen. So it has also given a fresh breeze to the shore of our program today. Then we go to the beach, we all are also able to see some people who are surfing or trying to ride the wave. So that reminds us of the saying that if you can't stop the waves, but you can learn to surf, you can learn to ride the waves. So we have what message I would like to give to all icebreaker speakers is that we can start small. We can be patient. We don't have to fight the waves. We can ride them, and the world will be yours.
So it's a high time to think about conserving our resources, may it be water, may it be land, and we have seen the interaction between them, which has to be passed on to our next generations. So it's very important to conserve our energy so that we have a sustainable future. Now, it's the moment of glory for some of us. Let us invite our club's president, TTM Prasad Sobni, to give away the certificates for the best speaker, the best evaluator, the best table topic speaker, the best auxiliary role player, and the best role player, and also give his closing address. Thank you.
Thank you. Before I do that, I would like to launch poll for best role player and best auxiliary role player one by one, so that people complete voting and Yash is able to have two separate blocks of votes. First, we'll launch the poll for best role player. Tamanna, is everyone qualified? Okay, so I'm launching that poll first online. Okay. You will soon see that there once we can open flash is on that screen. Posted over.
Yes.
Okay, so this is the poll for best role player. We have 3 eligible members: Toastmasters Parag, Table Master Shivendra, and the Nanda. Please cast your vote for one amongst these 3. Yes. While that sound is going on, we'll listen to the sound for a couple more seconds. Find the sound on the mobile. This is the dialogue between C and India. Are you done? So count later on. Have you got the set? It is separate. So not the second one then. Tamanna has already qualified for the second row, which is best auxiliary role player and launch now. With the Nagappan, you can guess.
Yash.
We have Sajid Arab's Yash, timer Tamanna, and language editor Harsh. Is another song where we have dialogue between seafaring it talks about how they like to go on the sea and fishermen basically trying to capture their mood in that song. Hemant Kumar and Mangeshkar's siblings. That's what this song again. While Yash is counting, I would like to pick out one more song which has some message for Toastmasters. There is something called as onomatopoeia.
Pera,
Do you know the meaning of that?
Onomatopoeia.
What is the meaning of that?
Onomatopoeia is like a double. It comes two times. Like
No, onomatopoeia is a word which has a sound similar to its meaning. So a snake hisses. So when you use that word hiss, that is also the sound that the snake makes. Okay. So there is one Marathi song written by Shanta Shirke which has several words which are onomatopoeia. Does anyone know which song is that? Song. Did you remember which words I'm talking about? Which words? No, not this. The sequence of words comes here now. Gadgad lagata bijli, which means gadgad is the sound that is made, and the verb for that is also gadgad. Fadfad is the word used for the boat, and you see that the cloth there keeps flying like that. So this is known as onomatopoeia. Typically, we are always given the example of hiss because that seems to be the only common English word, but there are so many Marathi words which have onomatopoeia. You can use them in your speeches if you want. We would like to have feedback from guests. If we have one here, Dhiren, just stand up and give us your feedback quickly.
So as I said last time, I really like this positive environment where we can openly speak, and then there are evaluators who are giving us positive feedback and helping us grow. So that is what I really like about the community.
Are there any guests online? I don't think we have. Do we have? No. No, we don't have guests online. Fine, we'll move to the results, but before that, one announcement. Next Saturday, 18th of June, is our 700th meeting, which will be a milestone meeting. We will be celebrating that at a hotel. Most likely it will be clerks in. Most likely the timing will change slightly because the hotel doesn't give you venue from 5, they give you from 6 or something like that. So it might change slightly. It will be a 2-hour meeting as usual, followed by dinner. The dinner will be free for all our paid members. If you want to invite others, let us know. We can make arrangement for that, and we'll collect token of appreciation, token amount from them for the food that the hotel will charge us. It is going to be 600 for veg food and 700 for non-veg food. So we'll collect 700 from everyone because we cannot. The hotel doesn't segregate so many veg plates and so many non-veg plates. Okay. We'll collect 700 from whoever wants to join us for dinner. You can invite your family members if you want. We'll also be felicitating some of our members. The 3 officers of the district who are elected recently, that is District Director Simarani, Program Colleague Director Sanjukta, and Club Board Director Milind Patwardhan will be felicitated that day, along with 2 of our members, one current and one past member, who have been elected as Division Director. Ravi Shetty from our club and Aditya Saxena, who was a member of our club earlier, President of our club, but he is currently a member of Kolhapur Toastmasters Club. Both are elected as Division Directors. We will be felicitating them. In addition to that, we have Geet Rawad, a member from Opulent Toastmasters Club, who has been a champion in our district, first person from Pune to win a district level contest. And 2 of our members have completed 10 years recently. Distinguished Toastmaster Nagappan and Distinguished Toastmaster Umesh Agashi have completed 10 years. Both have served as our past president, so we'll be felicitating them. Let's give a round of applause to DTM Nagappan, which he completes 10 years. So he just completed 10 years 2 weeks back, we could say. So I wanted to have feedback from you. How many of you would be attending that meeting? Because we have to give count. So I'll be launching Google form and all that. But from amongst those present here, is everyone going to be present? Okay.
But I won't come.
You won't become.
Because it will become late for me.
You are not driving yourself, right? You are going by taxi or rickshaw.
Yeah. I won't come. It will become late for me.
Okay. Okay, other than her, is there anyone else who is not going to attend next week? From those who are present, everyone will be present next week. Goretti sir, please be in Pune next week and attend that.
Sorry, sir, I won't be able to make it.
Oh dear.
I'm not in Pune that this entire 10 days I'm not in Pune, I'm in Bombay.
Okay. And the week after that, we will conduct elections and elect the body for the next term. As I have written in an email to you, I have shared what are the duties of each position. There is one president who is overall in charge of the club. Currently, I am holding that responsibility. I'll hand over to the next president. Then there is vice president of education who plans the agenda, plans the meetings, and so on. Currently, Kailash is handling that role. He will be giving that responsibility over to somebody else. Then we have vice president membership who talks to guests, tells them about our program, our activities, and helps them make the payment and gets them onboarded. Currently, distinguished Toastmaster Nagappan is playing that role, and somebody else will assume that responsibility. Then we have vice president public relations who prepares posters for the meeting and posts them on social media. Currently, Kailash is playing that role. Then we have secretary who writes minutes of the meeting and shares with all the members. Currently, Tamanna is handling that role. Then we have treasurer who manages the accounts of the club for that term. This for 6 months. Okay. Currently, Ravi Shetty is playing that role. And we have sergeant at arms who arrives early, sets up the entire meeting. After the meeting, packs things, takes it back in his car. Currently, Tej is playing that role. So these are the 7 officers we'll be electing. But before that, we would like to have your preferences sent in an email to me or Ravi, and then you will be interviewed on phone or in person, and then we will be having that. Okay, so please nominate yourself or nominate anyone else if you feel that such and such person should be in the committee in such and such position. Please feel free to nominate others as well. Okay, even very new members can also nominate. Just feel free to nominate. You may not be included in the main committee. You might be given the role of assistant or associate vice president, education, vice president, and so on. You can be, plus there is a newsletter editor. So you can be given any role that suits you. Okay. So please nominate yourself. One thing is we would prefer members who are present in person for each of these positions. Okay, so people from Pune who are going to attend most of the meetings can nominate. Okay, now it's time of giving out the certificates. The best speaker for today goes to Arya Kulkarni. With the habit of giving now. In a row. Yes. I think we can move forward slightly. This on our eyes. Can we message with the road test? The best role player for today goes to Toastmasters Parag Shinde. The best auxiliary role player goes to Sergeant Arms Yash Sakere. The best evaluator goes to distinguished Toastmaster Nagappan Palniappan. Because he had tough and cold last week. I request Kailash to come forward and give it to me. Thank you. So this meeting will be adjourned soon and we will go to the cafeteria or canteen nearby and enjoy some fellowship. But please let us know if you wish to be in the committee for next up. You can chat with us while we are walking there and get to know more about a particular role that you want, or you can talk to Kamalnath, Tej, Keval and Nagappan and ask them about their roles and then fill in the void. I adjourn the meeting now. Let's go there. But before that, come here and we'll have a quick photo. May somebody click close the meeting there online. Yes.